Hi, dear friends. Welcome to my channel. It's Akshara Dhare, collaboration with Siva Coaching Institute. Just today, the episode 2 about how to improve the communication skill in English. So, how you could improve your communication language, communication skill, English communication skill in just 30 days just by reading the newspaper. It's a very important just to improve the English communication skill. So I have as I told yesterday, I have updated a video related to how to start the communication to improve the communication just by reading the newspaper. Just let me start today's session with the same option, that is the newspaper, the Hindu newspaper, which is very knowledgeable, and also it's very important for the competitive exams and also for the communication. So the information which will be included in the newspaper, especially the Hindu, so that is very nice, and also you guys can learn into the English communication in the next 30 days. I'm sure it will be possible. Just I will go through the newspaper, which are the very important points, just for the communication purpose. So let me start the session. This is the first page, man page. This is just you will go through the front headlines. So four army Jones die in firing at military station. Just start reading the newspaper. Just which are the like heading points at the beginning. So it will take some time to be on the newspaper, minimum 1 hour to 2 hours. So at least you have to spend minimum 30 minutes to 40 minutes in the newspaper. You really learn lot about English language. So you guys can learn easily the communication skill also. Let's start with the beginning, which are the very important points. Just I will go as usual. So HC allows family of three cancer patients to alienate their land even though it is notified for acquisition. Man killed by brother-in-law for marrying without consent. So consumer inflation eases to 5.66% in March. In bid to force transport 2024, Nitish Tejashwi call on Congress leaders. So let us go to the next page. Gig workers avoid stricter laws that will protect their rights. The sector is made up of lakhs of workers, and the majority of them say that the government has been unsuccessful so far in resolving their problems, including that of exploitation by their companies. Especially Kannada background students are competitors. So for them, I would like to say something. So ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಕನ್ನಡನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಕನ್ನಡ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬೇರೆ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋರಿಗೆ, ಸೊ ಇದೊಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ನು ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಷನನ್ನು ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಡೈಲಿ ಈಚ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಡೇ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಪೇಪರ್ನ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ 1 hour to 2 hours. At least you must be in the newspaper for 40 minutes 40 ನಿಮಿಷ ಓದಲೇಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ 40 ನಿಮಿಷ ಓದೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವೆಲ್ಲ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾವೆ, ಆ ವರ್ಡ್ಸು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದಿರೋ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ತಲೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಆವಾಗ ನೀವು ಯು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಫೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದ ಆನ್ಸರ್, ಫೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ದೋಸ್ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಆವಾಗ ನೀವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಆ ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥನ ಹುಡ್ಕೊಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ. ಆವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರತಿ ಡೈಲಿ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ 4-5 ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ನ ನೀವು ಲರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 30 ಡೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ವೆರಿ ಗುಡ್ ಕಮ್ಯುನಿಕೇಷನ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ ಟಾಕರ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 30 days. So I will pause start. So before going to complete going to start this, just I would like to request you everyone, please subscribe to my channel and like and comment if you guys have any comments about the language. So please leave the comment and subscribe first of all, and leave the comment in the comment box. That will be very I will be very happy and we will be very happy to upgrade our knowledge in the upcoming sessions and in the upcoming videos. So just let me start. Port delivery executive killed in road accident. So these are the very man killed by brother-in-law for married without consent. Factory worker dies in accident. Assembly force BJP mostly sticks to old script in Bangalore. 3 seats remain in suspense. CET made mandatory for BSc nursing courses from this year, especially for the yes, for the Karnataka students who are about to pursue get their graduation in nursing. So they must have attend the CET exam. Then they have to after the CET, then they are qualified to get the seat in nursing colleges. So, and boy reclaims amputated arm in complex replantation surgery. This is very important. And also, PSS suspended after allegations of misbehaving with complainant. So, and then I go to let me go to the next page. International curricula hut SSVM Coimbatore Han authorized international baccalaureate. Very nice school. So, and let me start. Go to the next page. Very BJP faces heat. BJP faces heat from disappointed cricket aspirants Saudi Guli Hatiye to quit party. Filing of nominations papers begins today. Harishita scam accused among BJP candidates. So just these are the very adding points. So you're very to understand the communication and to understand the words which are the words will be is daily usable. So you guys can note while reading, so easily it will come to your mind while you communicating with your friends or colleagues or neighbors, whatever, whoever it may be. 6 more MLAs missed the ticket as the BJP announced a second list of 23 names. Shetter expressed optimism after meeting Nadda and Delhi. BJP this is from affecting a comprehensive overall in its first list of candidates. So next page, gold smuggling case. Achi Times don't need to probe CM's role. Kerala SC says there are no materials to assume that the investigation is not conducted properly. The dictum be you ever so high. The law is above you applies to all. Respect of status or position. SC gives Kerala 1 week to translocate wild elephant. True killer injured in LPG cylinders blasting. Come on, Supreme Court judge recuses from hearing Belagavi dispute case. Telangana SC issues notices to 11 policemen in this case. The Thaul talks with Devagowda must develop for PM Mitra Pox to be selected in 3 months. Train arson case suspects links to extremist groups under investigation. So this is this is in this page. Just I will read the first page of this corporate power and Indian inflation very deeply. Just I will read all this article. Then I will hand this session. So I hope you guys would follow the same for next 30 days. So you really will learn the English communication very easily without any doubt. I am sure you will learn. So let me start this article, corporate power and inflation. Now, explanation has been proposed for the recent trajectory of inflation in India with implications for its control. The former Deputy Governor of the Reserve Bank of India, Viral Chacharya, is reported to have observed on an Indian news and opinion website on March 30 that unlike in the West, where debated with COVID-19, core inflation remains elevated in India. This he ascribes to the pricing power of 5 big corporates. The narrative has received wide coverage in the financial press. For readers not acquainted with the jargon of central bankers, core inflation is all commodity inflation stripped of the inflation of food and fuel prices. Factor of food price inflation. We offer 5 comments on the climb. That corporate pricing power is driving inflation in India currently. First, a divergence between inflation rates in India and the rest of the world is not new. After the global financial crisis of 2008, Indian inflation surged, reaching level is higher than in its epicenter, namely the economies of the United States and the United Kingdom. This was due to a surge in food in price inflation in India, driven by negative agricultural shocks and high procurement price hikes. As food price inflation trend tends to feed into core inflation, it would be hasty to conclude that Indian inflation is higher than in the West today due to corporate pricing power. Note that for the month of February, the wholesale price based food price inflation was 2.8%, while that for manufactured products, the largest commodity group in the index, it was lowest at 2%. Ministry of Commerce much supporting with food price inflation in India unabated. There is no reason to assert that core inflation should have declined even if it has in the West. There is evidence that in India, food price inflation affects core inflation. This is not surprising after all. Half for food price inflation enters costs of the non-agricultural sector. Second, the argument that corporate power underlines lies elevated core inflation is based on an observation of a somewhat short time period. It is true that while wholesale price inflation has eased very considerable in the 6 months preceding March 2023, consumer price inflation has not. National Statistical Office March 13, but a mismatch between WP and CP inflation is not new. In 2021 to 2022, WP inflation has surged by 20 percentage points, but CP inflation uh, actually declined. Reserve Bank of India 2022. So the maintenance of high price increases by firms in the retail sector even after wholesale price inflation has declined in 2022-23 may just be a compensating mechanism. That is, the rising input cost of the retail cost sector is being passed on with a lag. Third, attributing elevated core inflation in consumer prices as wholesale prices fall to pricing power of the big five assumes that these conglomerates have a high presence in retail trade. On balance, one would expect their presence is greater in the manufacturing and infrastructure sectors than in retail. It may be noted that their presence in the economy itself may not be so high. Mr. Acha is quoted as stating that they account for 12% of non-financial sector sales. To us, this doesn't signal high pricing power. Both to compare WP inflation with CP inflation, whether in deadline or core is to act in the mass mismatch. The commodity basket corresponding to CP includes such items as housing, health, education, recreation, and personal care, which naturally do not enter the wholesale price index. So we would be comparing apples with oranges here. Finally, we come to the point that casts a doubt more directly and the claim that corporate pricing power is driving current inflation in India. At present, we have data for only the first 3 quarters of the financial year. That's just handed. However, in all of them, over 75% of the direct contribution to inflation is by sectors in which the big five are unlikely to be represented in a big way. The contribution of food products alone being close to 50% in most time periods. Clearly, it is the rising price of food that is driving current inflation in India. There is pricing power. None of this is to suggest that corporate pricing power doesn't exist or that is not relevant for inflation. Our own published work has shown that there is pricing power in Indian history industry and that the rate of profit in India is high in a global comparison. However, the question is the extent to which a corporate power is driving overall inflation in India currently, beyond its obvious role in elevating the price level. In theory, corporates can drive inflation up if in concentration arises continuously and if they come to dominate the economy. In this case, retail trade. That we have not reached their height in India is implied by the fact that the sectors in which the big five are most represented account for less than 20% of the consumer price index. But industrial concentration is most likely rising in India, and the consequences matter for more than just prices. While public policy in India has a history of being alerted to concentration in the industry, just concentration in services as in common telecommunication and in infrastructure as in ports is relatively new, and it may only just be coming to terms with its implications. As a democracy, India should guard against the potential use of countervailing power by any body pursuing a private interest, whether economic or social, and irrespective of its consequences for inflation. At the same time, it may be noted that India's corporate sector is diverse, and Mr. Acharya list includes at least one house that is pursued by the public as embodying business acumen, ethical practices, and social responsibility. In conclusion, we find the framing of the discourse on inflation in terms of core inflation as when the role of a corporate pricing power was brought up to be limiting. Core inflation leaves out the inflation in food and fuel prices on grounds that these prices tend to fluctuate, evening out the changes and thus not requiring a policy response. But this is a flawed assumption in the context of India's economy. The current inflation control strategy in India put prices have only risen, and in recent years, their rate of inflation have been very high. For all the reforms since 1991, the real price of food, that is, its price relative to the general price level, has risen considerably. In the context, to measure inflation without considering the price of food is to exclude what matters most to the public. As opposed to central bankers, India's inflation control strategy is currently restricted to using the interest rate to dampen aggregate demand. It conveniently, for its champions, absolves the policymaker from addressing the challenge of ensuring the production of food at affordable prices. But the most recent intervention of purporting to explain core inflation in India may have had a beneficial fallout after all. It has re-emphasized that the IB has been unable to control even that inflation which central banks are assumed to be able to. Yes, just at least read the newspaper loudly. Then you come to know which word is very which word is difficulty to read. Then you make a, changes. Then you make a correct in that point. So you guys can move forward. This is very important. While reading the newspaper, at least you have to read the newspaper words loudly. Then you can easily understand the words, and also you can find out the meaning for the specific word if you are getting doubts over the words. So I hope you guys would follow the same strategy. So I'm sure if you guys are yet to learn the English language for the present tense, so please follow and subscribe to my channel. And if you guys want to learn, if you guys want to learn, talk in English, so I'm very happy to help you. I'm very happy to help you to improve your communication skill in English. So please leave a comment in the comment box for uh, learning skills. I hope you guys are doing good, and have a great day. Bye bye. Take care.